expert with 20 plus years of experience. He brings a practical, no-fluff approach to managing documentation complexity. He views documentation as both art and clarity, and in his session, he'll show us how to wrangle the many-headed beast of information overload. Please welcome Xavier Roy.
Good afternoon, everyone. I know it's the post-night session. I'm feeling sleepy. So, how many people can now? Is it okay now? There's no water. Okay? Yeah, yes. Good. Okay. So, who can identify the person? Obvious? Yeah, right. So, one of the tasks, just to give back story to him, he was asked to do 12 tasks, like 10 tasks, like as you know, SPX, right? So, it becomes begin 12. So, one of the tasks was to kill a Hydra. Now, I think Gladys told something about multiple heads in the second one, right? So, this is an example of that. So, my core topic is to see how we can apply personal knowledge management. We can fit in the slide. So what are our Hydras? The story of Hydra is like every time you cut off a head, two more pop up. So what is a Hydra? So other than this, can anybody think of any other things that come up? So every time you finish an email, a new email comes, you finish a task, new drop ticket comes, or somebody comes and chats with you, tells you, hey, can I do this? So other than emails, shifting across feedback, and most of us relay documents are blocked, right? I think that's one of the core. Writing is easy, but rewriting is very hard. So can anybody else come up with common struggles that you have as a technical writer?
Sending the updates at the last minute and expecting it to be published before, after. Review comments coming in after the review timeline.
Yes. So these are all common struggles. So it doesn't happen once. You do one, the next request comes in. Okay. So why am I talking about it? Because I have faced the same problem just like you. So over for like almost 20 years, we talking about it. I think the person was telling about the late stage. So I am one of the late stage area falls under that umbrella. So what happens is these are my experiences using personal knowledge management techniques. So what is PKM? It will fit in the entire word, so I explained it. So common term is PKM. So it's called personal knowledge management. What is it? It's basically organizing, managing, and using information. Why? You learn, you solve any problems that you have, and also to achieve your goals. You can see that I'm logging. To achieve your goals. See, everybody has, we all work towards something, whether it is fame, it is money, or whatever aspects you need. So, how do you approach your daily task from this lens? This is just a lens. Disclaimers, I wanted to get this out of the way. So, you may find it useful, not useful. Ideas are there, steal it. I just wanted to get that out of the way. So, what I'll tell you about, I'll be talking mostly with using my experiences with this tool. How do I approach it with this tool? I've been a great fan of this tool from its beginning. I use it for everything. Basically, most of my life is up to this tool. So why it's free? You can download it, and last month they made it free for work also. Earlier you had to pay $50 one time, so they made it free. And it's extensible, got all things, great community. How do I use it? One part of it is work, one part of it is my personal stuff. So I use it note taking because that's a core job. I use it for task management, which I'll be talking about. I use it for managing people, which again I show, demonstrate that. I use it for ideation, coming up with ideas and all that. Personally, I use it for that. Believe that writing is thinking. So we always follow that. So I'm using that to write, to think, using that tool. I use it for journaling. So every day I track a lot of stuff. I track food, I track exercise, I track my reading, I track everything. And I also run my website through it as an audio guard, so it's more of how I use it personally. And I also use it to play games. That is very important. Fun is important in life. I also use the same tool for that. But here I'm looking at only work. So one of the core ideas in my day-to-day job, right, daily, is I have a daily note. That is my command center. So every time I start my day work day, I have this note. That's okay. So what is it? It's just a single note. I have a note, one note for every day. So every day has a separate day, and I usually use the VR on ISO format because it's easier to manage. So, but what does it contain? It contains things that I do, ideas that I have, what do I learn. I have everything on single note. Typically in old days we used to write a diary, simple as that, a diary. Or I use it as a work log. So again, what goes into this? Meetings. Like I said, meetings will go into email, tasks that I have to do, or anything, research notes. Okay, when people were talking, there was a lot of notes that I put. Okay, Given was using kappa.a, I noted. So it is all these research. That's research. Okay, I put a note saying that check out or research this particular, or look at your ICR. Just put a note on it so that I have a track of what I do or what I want to do. So what happens? Start of the day, starting with an intention. So start of the day, I open up my note, single note. I have my meetings. Simple as that. Everybody attends meetings. Right? Everybody doesn't attend the meeting here. Nobody. Okay. So everybody attends meetings. So I track. Okay, this I put it for an example for today's setup. So I just added everything on. Then sometimes for some meetings I added duration. Sometimes, not necessarily because we don't. We all know that meetings don't start and end on time. So then what happens after that? So I use the idea from deep work. Can you if you have read that book, deep work? No, that's one person. So this is an idea from that time boxing. So basically I decide what I want to work on and I plan. See, that's what the core idea, right? Every day we go to work to do achieve something. So I kind of decide what tasks are going to be my core tasks that I know. Because we will have an overflowing list of backlog. We have lots of things to do with life and at work. But you cannot do everything in the time that you have. So you have to prioritize. So that's what gets into that. I also add some plan breaks, lunch break, coffee break, tea break, commute, needed. I do that. The idea behind this is just to ensure that you know what you're working. You're prioritizing your work instead of reacting to what happens. Suddenly there's a new task comes in. You just before the end of the day you get a request for release. Now you have to react. So that's part of a job. But this will help you do preventive reactive work. Okay. So this is start of the day. Before I actually touch any document, start working on it, I do this. So next, throughout the day, I log stuff. So I am noticing what I am doing. Being mindful. Again, that's mental health and all that stuff. So being mindful about it. So what I do is again add tasks. So because I use Obsidian, that's a task plugin. So it's just a keyboard shortcut away. Again, create a task. I show that emails from task. I have a Outlook macro. I wrote a macro that will click a button on Outlook and send one to Obsidian as a task. I also start capturing work when I start something or at random intervals. There's a research that said every 11 minutes, recently that came out, every 11 minutes there's an interruption. Somebody interrupts you. I think all of us have faced it. And also study has shown it takes 23 minutes to get back. So 11 minutes, every 11 minutes you are interrupted, and maybe it takes you 23 minutes to get back. That's twice the time to get back to what you are doing. I think all of you have had somebody, it could be, the interruption could be anything. It could be a mail, it could be a WhatsApp message, it could be somebody chatting, hey, what are you doing today? That's it. Your work, it takes another half an hour for you to actually get back to work. So what I do is, I did, just to prevent that, somebody comes and tells me, Xavier, what are you doing? I just, for a second, I just do a small note, okay, working on editing this particular document. That's it. I just save it. It's just that. So when that person walks away, I know what I'm working on. Even if it could be a WhatsApp message that comes in, it could be anything, but just to ensure or minimize your interruptions. This has helped me a lot, so that's why it's pretty. There's a new book called Tame Experiments. It's a very nice book which you can read. So in that she calls the same thing as females. I call it interstitial journaling. I don't know, the last couple of months I'm getting a lot of hits on my website for this particular note. On my website from AI. I don't want to say the word AI, but yeah, you might stop, but yeah. I get a lot of publicity and from chatting. I don't know how it's being related, but I get a lot of hits from this. So next, this is an example of how I do. So that is the markdown version. This is the output that I see. So this is an example of a task. I was telling you about the task today. So this is a task. I put it up. I use a hashtag and a date when it was created and when it's due. So it helps me at least plan out work. It's again a plugin that, but you can use anything. So shut down. End of the work. We never shut down from work, but still. There's a gap. If you are at office, you close on your laptop only. If you are at home, it's up to you to decide when you want to log off or shut off. So what end of the day? So I look at the task again. The one I go back for the day task. I kind of look at things what needs to be done. Tickets has to be updated, all that. So I do that at the end of the day. Again, this is also from deep work, and this is very important because it gives you a break from your work mindset to home, or you're actually ending your work. So that is something that you need a change of mind. People working from home remotely will understand this is very hard to do, but again you have to ensure that you practice and do that. So that is my daily note. So questions, I just wanted to questions or further elaborations on my daily note because any thoughts on it? So it is, I mean, initially starting it might be, but you see the benefits once you start playing that in real life. You see the benefits because I'll tell you a couple of things. For me, time log. Time sheets, I don't really fill time sheets, right? For a couple of years, my organization decided to modify time sheets. Suddenly, one day, all of you have to fill up time sheets. Now, as I said, with interruptions, things that you work on, you get diverted or you lose track of what you're working on. And there are a lot of work that, what can I say, non-promotable work. It is work that you do, but you do not get it promoted. Right? So, everybody wants a promotion on that. So, this allows you to help you track that. Identify, okay, this is my non-promotable work that I am doing, and this is the work that actually gets you promoted. So, if you analyze for a month, you will understand, okay, this is the difference that you're doing too much of promotable work, good for you. If you're doing too much of non-promotable work, okay, identify and see how you can switch that. So that's one of the, it might sound hard, but you will see reap the benefits as you do. So, definitely will help you during appraisal time. It gives you a snapshot of what you do, and if you analyze throughout the day, a lot of things. one example that I wanted to show in this, yeah, I had this one, right? I had this meetings. I'll tell you, really for example is, I have this meetings, I note the number of meetings. Since I put some time, right? After the meeting, I put some time. I found that for one particular day of the week, Thursdays, for a couple of weeks I was working, like I had 7.75 hours of meetings. So that's our meeting. So I had 50 minutes. I said, well, 50 minutes for putting the time sheet. So I went back, showed this data again, showed this data back to my manager. See, I'm having this many meetings. I'm going to skip some of the meetings. You tell me which ones are not relevant, which is relevant. Okay, we agreed, okay, you don't attend this meeting, I'll take care of this meeting. This is important, you would attend, I won't attend. So that kind of, so how does that come? Because of the data. I think somebody said, right? Data without noise is, data without context is noise. So this is the context. So when I went back, I had the data, but I could go and talk to my manager and then, hey, can I attend how many meetings? Right? So that's how it gets. So we done daily notes, so it's easy to track stuff, do stuff. So what happened? Let's look at other aspects that I use of CDM or in this structure also. Meetings. Coming back to meetings. Again, I have a record of every meeting. So what I do is again, I select one meeting, especially for standard calls, for team meetings, one-on-ones. I have a note saying that this is the meeting. Okay. I capture what is that applicable. See, this is not minutes of the meeting. This is my view of things that I have to do, what I want to work on, or what I want to convey in the meeting. So I use that. Again, I add tasks if I have any action items, actions, or tasks. I also link to other people. For example, this is slightly good. These are individual links that go to the next one. People. So I link to other meetings. So in this particular meeting, they discussed about this. So I can link between a couple of meetings. So there was an all hands and some CEO showed a slide that this was happening. So now I have note for that. You can add screenshots, and then I can just go back and refer to that. In my team again, hey, now all hands last week there was this call. This was shown. So how do we do it? What was that? So this is an example of a meeting. So what I track an example. That is so you get that. So now people. We all deal with people. SMEs, teammates, colleagues, managers, boss, and other people at work. So I have a means here. Here is customer relationship management. Similarly, same logic. Have a note for every person. We capture everything, whatever. Then you also link to other nodes. We have a we talk about what we discuss. It could be professional, it could be also conversations. So something there's a conversation. I want to she wants to set up a Google website for her son. Okay, how do I do it? So it all adds up. Okay, this is not stalking. I'm not stalking somebody, but valuable information that you can use for your. And also I had birthdays. At birth anniversary, birthdays, and any other relevant information. So it's all because I use Obsidian. It's all in my laptop or my machine. Unlike say Notion or other ones that are similar to the internet, this is my stuff. So I think feel free to add personal information also. So questions on meetings and people? Have any doubts? I will think move to the next one. Okay. So now we have tamed the Hydra. They are not killed it, they just tamed it. So what do you get? It's state control. Basically you are aware of what we all work. what you do, kind of activities that you are actually working on. Others should focus better. The registration journals actually help you to break it down, what you work on. And also you can talk to somebody like managers at time of promotions, right? You have the data. You have a lot of data. And because you have meetings, right? You know that this happened in that meeting, the meetings back, you discuss that, you said you will do that. You have proof of that. You become a expert. You also know, because you use tasks, you track your stuff, you can be better at what you're doing, because we are getting paid to do that. Nobody is getting paid to do some tasks, achieve some tasks, to help us grow or help the organization grow. Again, goals, as I said, promotable work versus non-promotable work, you should have, yeah. So that is what you get. So let's talk about Obsidian beyond the basics, right? What I showed. Again, all of this does not mean Obsidian. You can use it for you can use Notepad. You can use OneNote, Evernote, Notion, Roam, Word document, Excel sheet. I don't want to tell you to use the Excel sheet for this. So it's up to you to choose whichever. But the idea, just take all the ideas. Because I use Obsidian, I can do a lot of things. I can track Jira. I can update Jira. Conference page, I can pull in the conference page. Development SMEs, developments, conference content, I can put it, I can work on it, edit it before going to putting it on my CMS or my favorite tool. You can just do. And you can also use it for mind mapping, Kanban, whichever flavor of basically do everything in this. There are a lot of other things that you can do with Obsidian, so it's not well for Obsidian. Databases, it's not enough. So if you want to take a note, just put the time, 15:33, after the session on PKM, that's it. That's your existing journal for today. So you can use one note, one particular daily note is that practice it, experiment, that's the goal, right? What works for me, not work for you, and not work for you. So find your own stuff. Do that. Again, journey, not destination. Thoughts? Maybe I tried anything similar?
I have a question.
Yes.
How do you...
Sorry.
Interesting session.
Switch it on.
Switch it on. Good session. How do you go back and search for it? This feels like a lot of information overload, right? You put down everything. How do you go back and search for what you
Couple of things. Because the tool I use, search is always there. And linking. Linking is one of the key features of Obsidian. So, as I showed you before, maybe I didn't link here, but meetings. So these are links. So this kind of you could link anything to anything. So I get a feel of, for example, I could have linked the name here. I could I don't have access to the Jira, so but this would be a Jira account. So it puts in information.
search becomes easy
Because it is all connected. So it's, everything is connected, and you get a whole set
So
of
it's
ideas.
ideal to use a tool rather than Notepad without...
Yes, the idea is you can use a notepad, but yeah, you will have to do the search.
Right.
Or people keep a running log, so they keep all the notepad becomes full pages after certain. That's great.
Thank you.
Anybody else had any? Yes.
I had the same question. I also had the same question because I do a lot of notes, but that is in OneNote. And also like the to-do. The to-do I've been experimenting for several years. I've still not found the best way to like I do the regular pen and paper thing. I also do it in the sticky note. I also do it in the OneNote. and then I send emails to myself. So in all kinds of things, and still there are things that I might miss, right?
I
So do you
know
have
all
any?
this. I also do all this. The idea is to, because you have sticky note. You have
No, I mean
kind of
virtual
sticky note, right? Yeah. So I just even I still tuck to your, if you have your laptop open, that's fine. Or to do Microsoft Word, to-do list, or you pen paper. So this, I also had the same problem, it's the same issues. So that's why I kind of moved to this tool as one point of a single source of truth. So one of those single source of energy, single source of truth. Again, I still send messages to myself. I still send messages to myself on Telegram. I have set up a workflow that I message myself on Telegram. It will be added to my personal wallet. So, which takes care of one bit of thing. Again, paper is that even if I write it on paper, I try to ensure it is copy or moved over there. So that's the problem is universal. I'm still struggling. I still use all of these workarounds to ensure that it is done. But in a way that it is good because from a professional point of thing, right? I wrote a macro, share it. It will send it directly to meetings and tasks within Outlook. I have layout, so I can use that. So I use this. But this Outlook works. It will send everything. My notes, to-do list, emails, and meetings. So setting it up is easy. So managing it again.
And how do you prioritize by the team? I mean, because there are things that you have to do immediately, there are things that you have to do like after a week or something.
Yes. So I use at a date. I have a done date. I can also add one more field which I do with this start by date and due date. So I have 4. That small plugin does that for me. So I can add that, and again, I told you about basics, right? Basics, all the data, like we use it in Microsoft database. So I can query, I run that. For a query, I can query what are my tasks today. And I actually added to my, I didn't show it here, but I actually added to my daily post. So at the top it shows me tasks for today and tasks for tomorrow. It's just a small SQL query style. So standard is select from that due date is equal to. So it gives me that, helps me track that what I have to do today or tomorrow or next week. So again, just text, it's all markdown. Again, people who are wanting to learn markdown, this is the tool to use to learn. This one was new, and you can build a lot of different structure. For example, I track my food, what I eat. There is a small query. I can tell my wife we have dosas in 3 days, 3 nights this week. So let's she gets angry, but it's useful. And again, people interested in AI and also AI. You may not do, but you can connect it if you are
Basically, you take note of each and everything.
I do a lot of things. I track a lot of things. I play games with it. So I run a role-playing game, text-based role-playing game. I use it to play. I connect it to AI so I can give them my game stuff and it will create a story for me. I do that. I publish it also. So you can do a lot of things. You can run an entire. I think I'm running my new oxygen course entirely out of this. Self-not feeding is what Microsoft concentrate. I do that.
Sure. Yeah. So first of all, really good presentation. Something that I was really looking forward to because I still use pen and paper, and I go by this method called bullet journey. I'm not really sure.
Bullet journey, yeah.
So
You can use that.
Yes.
Obsidian for that?
So I use multiple gems, and I'm actually looking forward to an application or something that I can take and transfer all my information. So when you say that you have the markdown version on it, right? I want to know, is Obsidian a tool that goes beyond these capabilities, or are you using it for notating alone?
Obsidian started out as an audio, but a lot of functionality people think like you do everything they want. People run their entire life on Excel. Like this, you can do a lot of things. There are a lot of plugins that you want to do, and you can extend both ways. Some things I do, some things Obsidian or plugin goes is to do. So, thanks for listening patiently. I think I put on time. Yep, very much.
PKM should be good on time only, right?
And for you want I'm setting up a course. Looking for beta participants. So if you're interested, sign up.
Nice.
Oh, somebody is speaking.
And those who miss it, we will be sharing the presentation so you can take it from there also.
And for people who are interested now in this presentation, these are the tools. Again, I gave the Obsidian. I think it's an Obsidian. So I think that's it.